Blood is thicker than water, and I believe it. Imagine you're in the Americas, you are in Canada, you are in Botswana, you are in South Africa. You are working 12 hours, 14 hours a day, busting your behind off to try and make ends meet. You have family back home. You're subject to what many call the black tax. You send money back home to take care of your family. And rightfully so, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You do it unconditionally because you love them. You always want to make sure that everybody is okay. Their children are doing fine. Those that are not going to school are probably going to school. You're paying, school fees for your brother's child or for your sister's child. Maybe you're even helping a friend or two beyond just your family members. At the end of every shift, every day, you come home, you sit down, you watch television, you have nobody to talk to. You're so tired. You're stressed, you're depressed because you have nobody to talk to. The weekend comes. And the same thing. Maybe you're off weekend like me. Maybe you don't work on a Saturday and Sunday. But the weekend comes and goes. And unless you call back home, and the only conversation you can have with them is whether or not they are okay, and whether or not there is anything else they need from you. There is no other conversation that they are interested in. They are not ready to pick up the phone and call you to find out if you're okay. In between your shifts during the week, you never get those calls. Nobody calls you to find out if you're doing okay, to find out if, there's anything they can do for you. But rather, they expect that you're doing fine. After all, you must be doing fine because they cannot afford you not to be doing fine. Because they need that money, they need that support. And there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you providing them the support. But where there becomes a twist is when people are not worried or concerned about your well-being while you are there out in the diaspora busting your behind off, working that hard to support your family members back home. And nobody seems to worry about your future, what they could do to influence a better future for you. Maybe when you return back home, can they help you to buy a home, to buy a house back home? Can they help you to buy land back home? What can they help you with? Can they help you to buy cattle? Buy goats, start some project that can get you going home as well, maybe once in a while. There's people that are overseas that go home only once, maybe every 4, 5, 10 years for that matter. Not because they don't have the money or they can't afford to go back home, but because they just have to take care of people back home. And they cannot go back home because it's too expensive for them, on top of all the money that they just have to send home. Let me get back to where I started. Blood is thicker than water. The importance of the conversation today, I want it to be about the reciprocal relationship that is sometimes so necessary, and yet people take for granted. I'm not saying reciprocal as in it should really be tit for tat, but I think naturally it should be that, and maybe it used to be, I think it did used to be, that family was really family. When I spoke about loving my brother, I really meant it. When I spoke about how much I love my sister. I really meant it. You could not touch my sister. You could not touch my brother without going through me. And the vice versa was the same. Could not touch my mother. Could not touch my relative without going through me. And that was the same in return. Many relationships today have become so transactional that, the essence of the term relative has lost its value, because you can only call your brother when you need to tell them what you need from them. You can only call your sister when you need to tell them what you need from them, or they call you only when they have something that they need from you. How often do you pick up the phone and decide to call your brother just to find out how they are doing? Call your cousin just to find out how they are doing. Is everything okay? Is there anything I can do for you? You know what? I care for you, after all. I really care for you. Have you ever made that call? An unconditional love type of a call. A type of a call that does not give the other party the frustration of, oh my God, what do they want now? What does he want now? Have you ever been in a situation where, you get a call from an uncle or an auntie, and you look at the phone, 3 times, in slow motion, and you're like, should I not? Should I not? And you're afraid to pick up that phone because you don't know what they're calling to ask you for this time. Or maybe it's your sister or your brother, with an entire family of theirs that you're probably feeding or sustaining, maybe, for lack of better terms. And they are calling, and they are not calling because they just wanted to greet you and they just wanted to, have some fun time with you on the phone, talk to you, pass time with you. People sometimes forget ukuthi kuqakatheke kanjani sometimes ukukwejisa. Ukukwejisa nje lizixoxele ke lixoxe lize lichaye izandla lasemafonini. How important that is in every sense, whether it is even in health, it's so important. Good spirits are so important, to always be in good spirits, or at least, if not always, once in a while and so often, to be in good spirit. And sometimes you can get that only when you are dealing, or when you are getting it from people that you love the most. Unconditional love, unconditional relationships. Lokhana uthi nxa mfonela umna wami, angimfoneli ukuthi kukhona engikufunayo. Hayi, ngimfonela nje because ngifuna ukuthi ngengixoxela nje sikhumbuzane ngempilo yethu kudala kwethu, sikhumbuzane nje sixoxela ngefuture. Sinikane ama-ambitions, si-encourageane nge-life. Imagine that. It has been long lost in many cases with many families. I'm not touching, the scenario of spousal relationships today, because that's another whole ball game. I don't know if I'm even qualified much to speak much about that one, but yeah, that's another one. But right now, ngikhuluma kakhulu nge-relationship eyabantu abahlobene ngokwegazi, blood relations. How much it has deteriorated to the point of you call me only when you need something and I call you only when I need something. Thina abantu abaku-diaspora into le yasilimaza kakhulu, because it gives the aura of great insensitivity on the level and amount of loneliness. that exist in the diaspora. As banenjani abantu embaziyo who are in the diaspora, who live miserable life, and yet they make money. They have places to sleep. They have food every day. But their lives are so miserable because of the lack of relationships. Not relationships with a spousal somebody, but relationships with their own family members, because everything has become transactional. You can only call your brother if you're going to, if you're going to offer them something, because labo, they don't expect you to call them if you have nothing to offer them. Kulomnye umuntu owantshela istory sakhe, a very interesting story. At some point we were at a wedding, and she was having a conversation with another family member at this wedding, and they were going at it, having fun, having a conversation, when another family member approached them. And this other family member approached them, was obingelela the person that was that they were with. Kazanga bingelele yena, wabingelela lo seceleni kwakhe. Not because they were enemies or because they had a grudge with each other from the past or anything. No, because what she says and how she interpreted that scenario was that because she was deemed irrelevant. Because apparently the know-how of the moment was that yena ubengakafiki esimeni esiqhakathekile esabantu abaqhakathekileyo, because probably galandlu kayendanga galabantwana galamota into ezifana lazona lezo. But now what happens is, all of a sudden impilo yakhe yachinja. Those very people, that very person in this instance, owayemsayidla ineka buhlungu on that day of on that wedding day, all of a sudden that person sengumuntu osehlangana la kwezinye izindawo, usefuna ukuchana la ngezandla acknowledgement of good relations. And it's like, really? Just food for thought. Akhona ama-relations anjalo, and asemaningi these days kuma-families empilweni zabantu. I thought this subject was going to be a very interesting subject to talk about today. Before I go, a short clip from a young lady who spoke something that I found very fascinating and interesting. Listen to this.
Do you guys think there's a relationship on earth that's not transactional? I personally believe that every relationship is transactional, even with God.
Imagine our relationships when they've come down to this. It's a tit for tat type of a situation, as she says. Everything is transactional. Even with God, it has become transactional. Angwas, Litini, what do you say about this particular subject? Drop a comment. And if you are visiting us for the first time, welcome to Asixoxeni. Let's Talk with uSiziba. Thank you so much for being with us. And please subscribe. We're going to have many more interesting topics to talk about. Subscribe. Ngiyabonga.